Hi, it's your pal Steamed Hams. Join me every week on the Unforgettable Luncheon as we discuss topics in the nerd world like gaming, comics, cartoons, and whatever else may cross my mind. You can find me on the socials as SteamedHams81 on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube. You can also find me as the Unforgettable Luncheon on Facebook. And check out Steamed Hams Merchtorium, the link to which will be in the description of this podcast. The Unforgettable Luncheon, nerd comedy at its okayest. 1999. What a year. American Pie showed us the terrible things you could do with a pie and a flute. My dumbass enlisted in the United States Navy. And of course, the release of Syphon Filter, an underrated stealth action series with more twists and turns than a roller coaster designed by M.C. Escher, which is in terrible need of a reboot. We're going to discuss Syphon Filter. Oh, franchise, where art thou? Today on the Unforgettable Luncheon. Hello, it's your old pal Steamed Hams. I hope you're ready for another Unforgettable Luncheon. First, a quick update. The Kickstarter for Ghost Lord and the Quest for Dark Presence was a resounding success. Of their $60,000 goal, they managed to raise $69,130. Thank you to everyone who donated. Follow Ghost Lord and Quest for Dark Presence on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all the updates. Now, on with the show. Picture it, the Chicago suburbs, 1999. I'm starting the madness that will be my senior year of high school. I'm working at White Castle part-time, which during the summer they deemed 40 hours. And I used my 90-day bonus from there to buy a PlayStation. I purchased 2 games with it, Tomb Raider and Syphon Filter. Honestly, I bought Syphon Filter because I thought the art looked pretty fucking cool, which was the style at the time. What I got was a pretty decent stealth shooter that I would enjoy for several sequels. Released by Eidetic Incorporated and 989 Studios in 1999, Syphon Filter follows the adventures of Gabriel "Gabe" Logan and his partner Leon Zhang, both as agents of the mysterious agency. Yeah, they don't go into much what the agency is, it's just the agency. Don't ask me, I didn't write it. They're tracking terrorists who are plotting to use a new bioweapon called Syphon Filter, a virus that can be programmed to target specific groups. Want to get rid of all the green-eyed people? Do you want to eliminate an entire race of people? It can be programmed to do so. The shitty part? There's no known cure or vaccine. So hope to God nobody has a grudge against whatever genetic makeup you have that 23andMe told you had 2.3% of. The first game starts in Washington, D.C., during an attack by a terrorist group called Black Baton, led by Eric Romer, who holds a significant amount of Syphon Filter virus on hand. Yeah, that's not going to bode well. After several firefights, Logan is able to destroy the terrorists' comm array and several bombs containing the virus. The investigation leads to a company called Farcom, a pharmaceutical and biotechnical company. During an event at a Farcom facility, Logan sees CEO Jonathan Fagan and an agency trader named Edward Benton having a little discussion. About evil plans, perhaps? You never know. Oh yeah, it was evil plans. I mean, come on. Spy game. Logan offs Benton and stops Fagan from being assassinated by Mara Aramov, a Russian spy who you encountered earlier in the DC mission. She's arrested, and you learn more about the virus from your boss, Agency Director Thomas Markinson, a man who wears his sunglasses at night. You, as Logan, head to Kazakhstan to destroy Romer's base, and in the process, Leon is seemingly killed and you are rescued by Markinson. Logan heads to Ukraine where Romer has a lab to destroy it and give a vaccine to Syphon Filter test subjects, which, as he learns later, was actually a poison that was meant to kill them to tie up some loose ends. We will get there in a minute. He finds Fagin being held prisoner, who tells him that Leon is alive. But she's infected with the Syphon Filter virus. Mara Armarv shows up and, plans to shoot Fagin, which, of course, she does, and convinces Logan and Leon that she's here to help. So they hightail it to the Farcom warehouse to stop Romer from firing a missile loaded with Syphon Filter. Logan finds the silo, learns that his boss, Markinson, was in cahoots with Romer all along. Gee, I wonder why he was poisoning all those people. A guy who wears his sunglasses in his own dimly lit office. What's not to trust about him in a spy agency? But what are you going to do? He Agent Smithed us, pretty much. You defeat Romer, blow up the missile, and live happily ever after? No. Syphon Filter 2 takes place mere hours after the first. Logan and Leon are branded enemies of the state for their actions. Are we sure they're not related to Roger Wilco? Save the world, all of a sudden you're the bad guy. And, of course, have to battle their own corrupt agency to prove their innocence. Now, I'm going to give you the Spaceballs wedding version of this game. For those of you who don't know the Spaceballs wedding gag, it's the short version. As this game is more complicated than the first, hell, the games get more and more complicated and almost convoluted as they go on. So we're just going to go with this for all the remaining games. Otherwise, this friggin' podcast will be like 2 hours long. Anyways, back to the fun. Logan intends to meet up with a new character, Teresa Lapin, but their transport is shot down over the Rockies. Of course, you have to fight your way out and retrieve some stuff that agency goons are, trying to retrieve and kill you. But that's par for the course. What kind of game would it be if you just said, oh, well, we're just going to walk down here. No incidents. It turns out a bunch of conspirators, including good old Mara, and the new director of the agency, Lyle Stevens. Boy, that was quick. And who'd have thunk he'd be corrupt too? Plan to sell the virus to a rogue Chinese general. Because that's always a good plan. Sell a deadly virus to a rogue enemy general? Oh, nothing could go wrong there. The good guys go on a mission to recover the data encryption disk. Find the other half is with a Russian spy that Leon happens to know. Shocker. So after finding the guy and helping him out of some jams and firefights, you find out that he's an imposter. The real guy is in a Russian gulag. Honestly, I couldn't pronounce the guy's name for the life of me in the Wikipedia, so I'm not even going to try. He's in a Russian gulag because, of course, he is. He gets rescued, and Leon almost dies from her infection with the Syphon Filter virus. Logan decides to trade the data for the vaccine, but, of course, Stevens double-crosses him at the lab. Surprise! And Logan still gets the vaccine after threatening Dr. Elsa Weissmuller for it. And he frees Jason Chance, another agent who helped Logan in the Rockies. So, after another gun battle involving the agency and NYPD SWAT, Logan kills Stevens after he had been demanding that Logan give everything up, otherwise he's going to kill this cop. Logan complies, he kills the cop. Logan kills Stevens in cold blood, so, meh. And he heads to an extraction helo. He finds Chance decked out in some holy shit super body armor that the agency provided, because why wouldn't it? Ready to kill Logan. And I wonder why he's going to do that. Because he's also a bad guy. He murders Teresa and sets his sights on Logan. Of course, Logan, using an awesome automatic shotgun, manages to use it to push Chance into the helicopter blades, where he, oh so delicately separates his head from the rest of his body. Game over? World saved? No. Syphon Filter 3 starts out as Gabe and company are testifying to Congress about the shenanigans of the agency to Secretary of State Vincent Hadden and it's told mostly through flashbacks. The flashbacks include missions to the mission to Costa Rica, as described in the first game's opening video, to Logan and Leon's first meeting during the Soviet-Afghan conflict, to a mission with Logan and MI6 operative Maggie Powers to sink a ship carrying Syphon Filter to terrorists and a small cadre of IRA members. Of course, plot twist, Teresa shows up as Gabe is getting accused of being a liar, pants on fire by Haddon.
Surprise, motherfucker!
She faked her death to root out the bad guys. And guess who bad guy numero uno is? If you guessed Haddon, you win the new washer and dryer set. Now, of course, Mara Armorov shows up, like she always inconveniently does, and shoots Haddon. And decides to take a train full of people hostage because, hey, in for a penny, in for a pound, why not? Logan and company rescue the hostages and save the world. Again. Of course, the post-credit scene sets up Syphon Filter the Omega Strain because somebody went after the Syphon Filter that was at the bottom of the ocean after that ship was sunk. Because can't we just not end on a cliffhanger? I'll be completely honest, though, with Syphon Filter the Omega Strain on PS2, I spent hours on that fucking game, okay? Because it's more RPG than anything, so obviously you level yourself up, you earn new items by doing certain things, like, oh, you get so many kills with a type of grenade, you get a new grenade, you get so many kills with a type of gun, you get a new gun, you get a new sight, something like that for the gun. So, me being the perfectionist I ground that out for hours. The game is very non-linear, so you can kind of skip around missions. And I'm not going to go in depth because it's all over the fucking place. I tried to read up on this to refresh my memory because it's been like 15, 16 years since I played this game. And let's be absolutely fucking honest. Pulp Fiction played with the chapters set on shuffle makes more sense. Okay? So, we're just not going to go into it. Basically, you play new rookie agent that you create. Gabe is your leader now in a reformed agency with a new name. And you go shooty shoot, bang, bang, bang. Stop the Syphon Filter virus. Of course, Mara Armov is going to show up because when the fuck does she not in this series? And you save the day and everything's fine and dandy and cool this time. There are actually 3 PSP releases, Syphon Filter Dark Mirror, Syphon Filter Logan Shadow, and Syphon Filter Combat Ops, which was strictly multiplayer. I never played any of those because I never really had a PSP, and they never ported them over to, say, PS2 by the time I stopped playing PS2. My handheld of choice was Game Boy Advance SP, so there. But I heard they were pretty good. I kind of read up on them some, with the final one being chronologically Logan Shadow, which has Logan saying, you know what, I think I'm going to retire, and then getting shot, so ambiguous as to whether or not he survives, blah, blah, blibbity, blah. Fun stuff. Now, in this podcaster's humble opinion, Syphon Filter does need a reboot. Or at least a fancy HD remake collection with the first 3 games. I mean, they did it with Metal Gear Solid, and it fucking worked phenomenally because I used to own it. It is a solid trilogy. Omega Strain, they could fix some stuff, but I don't think I'd go back to it, being older and wiser. And I mean, they did it with like Modern Warfare and Saints Row to mixed results. Modern Warfare is good, Saints Row, not so bad, not so good. But why not this one? Well, of course, with my luck, this game always being a PlayStation exclusive, it'll happen, but it'll only happen on PlayStation. And we know I'm an Xbox guy, so fuck me, I guess. Well, that's it for another unforgettable luncheon. I hope a good time was had by all. You can reach me on the social medias like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch at SteamedHams81. Or you can email me at steamedhams81@gmail.com. Join me next week when the topic will be something nerdy.